Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be working on my Australian umbrella tree. This is a Schefflera that has the large leaves, not the dwarf variety. And I really like this tree. It's grown quite well over the summer and it's getting really big. So I'll have to put this away for the winter, and I think it's just taking up too much space with this giant canopy on it. So today I'm going to defoliate it, prune it back, and then put it in the plant room for the winter. Here's a look at the Schefflera. So you can see the canopy is really large on it. I noticed it had a bit of scale insects on it, so I'll have to give it a spray after I defoliate it. The real beauty of this is the large leaves compared to the dwarf variety, which is down here. You can see the dwarf variety has the smaller leaves and this one has the giant leaves. And I think, you know, they're both charming. I like the big leaf one just as much as the small leaf one. I think they get a fantastic canopy. The real beauty of this tree is the trunk and aerial roots. So if we come down here, you can see what's happening underneath the canopy. It's got these cool aerial roots forming all over the place. It's getting a cool branch structure. Yeah, so, you know, even though it's a large leaf variety, I think it makes a really cool bonsai. And I think it'll just keep getting bigger and bigger, this planting. So it'll take up a lot of space eventually. If I had unlimited space to grow my trees, I would probably just let this grow into a big tree and prune it back maybe every couple of years. But I'm limited to my winter storage space, so I let it grow over the summer, and then every fall I cut it back and bring it indoors. Indoors it starts to grow again, and then I let it grow over the summer again, and then I prune it back in fall. So I get a 1-year cycle, as opposed to if I let it grow a couple of years, it would thicken up faster and maybe get more branching after pruning it back. But I'm limited to my space, so this is the best I can do. So I'm going to begin today by defoliating the tree. All right, here I go on the defoliation. And you can see the leaf petioles are really long, like they're the span of my fingers, I guess. That's how long they are. So I'm going to prune them back quite close to the trunk line, leaving, you know, maybe a few centimeters of a stub. So here I go, taking that off. The leaves can be reduced on this tree. The reason they're so large is that I've let it grow. If you're always pruning it, and you know, the more branching you get, the smaller the leaves get. But at the moment, they're quite giant on the tree. I've seen some at bonsai shows where the leaves are quite small, even on these large leaf varieties. And I think after the defoliation, the actual tree will look quite small today. It won't look like a giant umbrella tree anymore. And because this tree has so much vigor in it, this doesn't hurt the tree at all. It'll just regrow new leaves. Yeah, it usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks. You see some of the leaves are quite small on it, so they can all eventually be reduced to that size. And when you let the top canopy grow like this, you get all these aerial roots forming in the shade, because it's kind of humid underneath the canopy. It's dark, and in the greenhouse here they just grow all kinds of aerial roots. So there's the tree defoliated. Doesn't look so big anymore. I'm going to dispose of these leaves. Some of them have scale on them. You can see the bumps on the leaves. Doesn't seem to be any on the underside, but yeah, bit of scale on it. So I'll throw those on the compost pile. There's a ladybug that I will keep in here. Here is a look at the tree now. So this is the front of the tree. Here's the right-hand side. So I had this one trunk line die off, and that was because it was in the poly house. I had the doors closed and I was away, and it heated up to like 50, I think it was like 52 degrees Celsius. Really, really hot. And anything in the sun just died back. So I lost my trunk line here, so I've got dead wood here. But it's healing around it. It's become quite a neat feature on the tree. So I keep the dead wood at the back. I don't know. This is a cool front too, but I think I like this one better just because it has all the aerial roots, and the dead wood won't last long. It'll rot away. My next step on this tree is to prune the branches back. If you don't prune the branches on a Schefflera, they just go longer and longer without much movement or taper. So every time you prune it back, you get subdividing, you get a change of direction, and you get a more compact tree. So pruning is the key. You've got to let them grow, gain vigor, prune them back to stubs, let it grow again, gain vigor, and prune those back to stubs. So just keep repeating that clip and grow method, and eventually you'll get a really cool structure to the tree. All right, here I go with the pruning. So this tree is getting quite old. It started out as a house plant, and I think I grew it for about 10 years as a house plant, and then I converted it to a bonsai. And I think the overall age since I've had it is almost 30 years now. So it's getting to be an old tree. So I'm looking where to prune it. You can see this is last year's growth, and the new growth is the green tips. So it hasn't put on a ton of growth, like, you know, these new branches aren't really long, but you can still prune them back. So you can see on the branches there's leaf scars where the leaves were, and at the base of each one of these leaf scars is a dormant bud that will create a new branch. So you can do directional pruning based on the leaf scars. So on this branch, it's kind of a horizontal branch. I don't want it growing vertical, so I'm looking for a leaf scar on the outside. There's one here, there's one here. So I can prune it right back to here. So here I go. Like that, just leaving a stub. I should get more branching coming off of here. I'll let those grow, prune those back eventually too. Up here, I'm kind of keeping in mind my overall silhouette of the tree. Kind of creating an umbrella-shaped canopy. So this one, I don't really have a good place for branching on the outside. All I can do is really prune the tip off here, so I will. Like that. This one growing up the middle, I can prune that back. I'm looking, I think, right back to here. The one on the outside here, I want it to fan out. So I'm looking, there is a shoot, a bud developing right here, so I can take the whole top off here. Like that. This branch growing here, it's growing over top of these branches. It's not really contributing much to the design of the tree. I'm thinking of taking it totally off. I have, behind this trunk line, I have a lot of branches forming here. I don't think it would hurt to take that one right off. Yeah, it's just, it clutters up this whole section of the tree, so off it comes. Like that. Oh, and there's an aerial root attached to it. Putting that off too. These also root as cuttings. If you plant your clippings, they generally root and grow. There's a bit of bark flaking off up here. Yeah, this is like balsa wood. It's really brittle. So then I've got this back branch here. I want it to fan out, so I've got a leaf scar right here, so I'll take it off right here. Like that. I haven't pruned this branch, so I'm looking at lots of leaf scars here, so I think I'll take it off right here. And then the apex here, there's a couple possibilities. It is getting kind of tall and straight. I could do a hard prune back. I think that would be a good idea. I'm just looking at the height of the other branches. I would want to keep my rounded form. I think that's why I pruned it up there before. Well, maybe I will just prune it back to here, and then I'll see if new shoots grow on this section of the trunk line. Eventually they do. They branch out eventually with time and a bit of luck. So I think that's got the tree pruned up. I didn't prune this little branch because I think it's fine. It's not very long. There's a few little branches coming off of the main trunks that don't need pruning. Okay, so I think the next operation is to spray the tree with soap and water, then rinse it off and give it a good watering, and then it can go inside. Here is a look at the tree now pruned up. Looking pretty cool. And here's what I took off today. So not a whole lot. None of these branches were really, really long. Just mainly the ends of them came off. Okay, here I go spraying it with soap and water. And this is Dawn dish soap, 1 part Dawn dish soap with 40 parts water, approximately. So here I go spraying it down. Hopefully that ladybug's off of there. I think it is. I just spray it from all directions. Above, below. Spray the moss. Pot even if you want. So I'll let that sit for a few minutes, and then I'll give it a thorough rinse and watering before it goes inside. Okay, it's time to rinse the tree off now, so here I go. And I'll run the whole watering can over the tree and through the soil. So I keep this tree a little on the dry side over the summer. They don't like to be overwatered. And if you keep the soil kind of dry and you keep it in a humid environment like a greenhouse, they tend to grow more aerial roots, which is, part of the charm of this species, is the cool trunks and aerial roots. These trees are also called the Queensland umbrella tree, and the scientific name has been changed recently from Schefflera, I forget it, to a different name. I'll put that in the description below the video. So they can tolerate cooler temperatures, but ideally you want to keep them on the cool to the warm side over the winter. So I'm not going to put this one in the basement. I'm going to put it in the plant room and keep it a bit warmer in the winter. I think it'll grow better, and I think it'll grow better the next summer if I keep it warm. Last year I kept it in the basement and it stayed dormant, and it took quite a while for it to start to grow once again. So yeah, I think keeping them cool, they say around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about, I don't know, maybe 15 degrees Celsius, somewhere around that range, as a minimum. Anything below that, they just go totally dormant, and I don't think it's that good for them. So I'm going to keep it a little warmer this year and see how it does next summer. I'm just taking a last final look at the tree. I do have sort of 3 branches growing from one spot here. I think if I got rid of one, it'd probably be the back branch and keep these 2 that are fanning out nicely. And should I do that now is the question. I think so. I think that's going to be a problem if I keep that developing in the future. I'll get it thickening up around here. So I'm going to take that back branch off. So here I go. Just like that. I broke a bit of the deadwood off too. Okay, let me have a look at the tree again. Yeah, I think everything else is looking good on it. Even the aerial roots have dropped down quite nicely. I will seal all my cuts up with my Titan rubber cement, just to kind of seal them so they don't lose moisture, and kind of helps prevent dieback on the branches. I get all these strings of rubber cement. That one back here. Bit here. There. Over here. And right here. I think that's all the cuts I did. Yeah. Okay, so that's got it all sealed up. I'm really enjoying growing my Australian umbrella tree. Every year it gets a little more interesting, more aerial roots and a bit more character to it. So I'm looking forward to developing it far into the future. So that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.